All right, today we're going to be switching this steering wheel out for a classic Nardi wooden steering wheel. I also have a Evasive Motorsports cruise control bracket. And then I also have an NRG 2.5 version quick disconnect. And then an NRG Short Hub with resistors. There's the resistors for the airbag light. And this wire here, I have no idea what this is for. It's got two probes and two spade adapters. I can't find any information about these on the internet at all. Nobody seems to use them. I called NRG and like 3 other companies to find out what these are for, and I have no help at all. But they kind of look like they're some kind of extension for the horns, but I am not sure. So let's get started on getting this out of here. Alright, so here we are after we have the clips popped on the airbag. I didn't mention it before, but I did disconnect the battery because we'll be messing with the airbag. Just a safety precaution so it doesn't explode. But once you have the clips popped on the airbag, you just pull it down. And for reference, right here is the clip that we were talking about that you push. So you stick your screwdriver in and just push that rod right there, and it makes the spring disconnect. So there's also one over here on the passenger side. After you have the airbag disconnected, you'll take your screwdriver, pop up these yellow clips right here. And these are a little hard to get out, so I just put the screwdriver underneath of it and just twist so it comes out. Like that. And then you'll disconnect that ground wire right there. And then you'll disconnect that white clip up there as well. That's for the cruise control. Alright, so once we have the airbag disconnected, this is the SRS and airbag plugs. And then this disconnected from the clock spring. This is your cruise control and horn, I believe. Ground wire. Next, we will be taking out that 17mm bolt. You'll unscrew it most of the way and leave it on the thread, and then you'll pull your steering wheel back, leaving the nut on the threaded rod so it won't bust you in the face. Alright, so I have the bolt in the steering wheel loosened up, and I'll just pull it off here. Once we have the steering wheel disconnected from the column, you'll unscrew this nut, take it off, and you'll carefully feed the SRS airbag wire through this hole. This black part stays connected. That's your clock spring, and it will spin. So what I'm going to do is tape it down so it doesn't spin. You want this to stay upright. I I also hear that these are about $300 to have replaced, so you don't want to break it. And here's what it looks like without the steering wheel on. Here's the SRS connectors and the threaded rod that sticks out of the wheel, or that the wheel connects to. Like I said, you want to keep this straight up and down. You don't really want to mess with it. It is very expensive to fix. So next we will install these resistors that's included with the kit that I bought. They also sell them separately. You'll take each one of these prongs, you'll stick them into the bottom here, right there into those two holes, and then the same for the black. There's two holes right there that these prongs will stick into, right there. I'll probably stick them in, and then I'll put some electrical tape around them so they don't move. And then you will take your short hub, right here. And then to tell if this is up and down properly, there's a little white indicated indentation on the unit. And the NRG logo will be up, so it'll go like that onto that rod. This is all hollow on the inside, so we'll take these wires and wrap them around and then put it on that right there, just like that. Alright, so we'll take our resistors and we'll put them in these clips. It doesn't matter which side you do. I'm going to take a piece of tape, wrap it around. They fall out pretty easily. And you'll take your other one and you'll do the same. Make sure you wrap them nice and tight because, like I said, these fall out very easily. And then that part's done. This is what it looks like. So here's the steering wheel disconnected. You'll want to pop out this wire here. This is for the horn. But it's also the wire for the cruise control, which I will be keeping. So I need to take that out. If you do, you'll unscrew that Phillips head screw right there, and then that one right there, and just take the whole unit with you. Alright, so here's the cruise control disconnected, along with the wire. But if you're just taking the wire, you'll just pull that out like you normally do. Alright, now we'll be installing the short hub itself. NRG logo, and then the little indicator dot will go up. So to get the clip from the cruise control to fit through this hole right here, we'll disconnect it from the unit, Stick the small end through that hole. You'll plug the big end back into the clock spring. And you also push the ground through that hole as well. And you'll take that wire loom and wrap it inside of the hub. Tuck it in. This part's a little bit finicky. It doesn't want to wrap up. Make sure that's all lined up there. Pull out your tape. Make sure nothing's pinched on there, and then put on your nut. And then you'll torque that down to 29 foot-pounds. Alright, once we have the hub assembly connected and bolted down to 29 foot-pounds, I will be taking my Evasive Motorsports retaining cruise control bracket. This is all carbon fiber. This was like 90 bucks. It also comes with the screws to mount the cruise control stick. I do some modifications for this bracket here. It only goes on one of two ways, and one of them's way down here, and I would hit that with my leg. So I'm mounting it up here beside the windshield washing stock. And then I had to cut off the back of this piece of black plastic off the stock itself. And then on the plug, I cut off the two ears that hold in the part where you disconnect it from the bracket. So it should be ready to go now. Otherwise, this wire here is quite short and acts like it doesn't want to reach down very far. So we'll mount it there like that. Everything lines up nicely. The wire's not too tight. So I'm going to stick this in here, hold it, and make the connections to black and yellow to blue. Put some tape around the wire. Line it all up. Push the connections into the cavity. Tuck that wire in and out. and just tighten everything down. Okay, now we take the quick disconnect and we push it on. There is a little notch right there underneath the center, and it matches up with the little notch on the part that's connected to the column. You just push it on, twist it. The disconnect button, where you pull it up, you push that in so it ends up locking inside. That is a little bit offset to the left on the outside of the car for the driver's side, but you can see that the dot is right in the middle, and all the logos on the quick disconnect and then on the short hub itself is lined up perfectly. All right, now we take the wheel itself, still in the box. Get that out. And the centerpiece. And here we got screws and an Allen wrench. I'll probably be changing those screws out eventually. The centerpiece that connects it to the wheel. And then the horn button. Take the wheel out. I got the deep green mahogany with the inlay inside. All right, now we'll take our button and the steering wheel itself. And on the back of the steering wheel button, there's a little tab here that sits inside. That's the ground. That's the ground connection. And this little tab here is for the power. So you'll take your steering wheel, put the button through the wheel, take your black wire, which is ground, and thread it through the connector and push that piece back inside. Then you take your yellow wire, which is power, and push it on that little tab. And you take the collet and you put it over top of the button, line everything up, and thread it in. Let's turn the power on and try out the horn. Let's see if there's an ABS light on. All right, so there's power. Horn works. Now if we turn the car on, yes, light went on. Perfect. So then you just push in this button that's here on the top, and you pull the metal tab, and it comes off, and it locks. Put it back on. Just twist it a little bit, and it locks. Perfect. And that's it. NRG Short Hub, Evasive Motorsports carbon fiber bracket for the cruise control, NRG quick disconnect, and a classic wooden mahogany Nardi steering wheel in the 2015 BRZ.